Assalamualaikum guys, how are you doing today?
Walaikum Assalam. I'm good.
Very good.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so first up we have Harith presenting. Here. Harith, are you here? I'm not sure. Okay, actually we'll just go to Arsha, and then we can go to Harith when he comes back. And he's here. Okay, Arsha, you wanna go?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Give me a second. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum guys. Today we're gonna be talking about halal versus haram food. Have you ever wondered what food is halal and what food is haram? Okay, these are some halal foods and some haram foods. On the halal side, you have like fruits, potatoes, and ice cream. And on the haram side, you have alcohol, chicken, and bacon. Is chicken haram? Chicken is actually not haram. The reason it was put on the haram side is because it depends on what kind of chicken you eat. Halal chicken can be found in halal stores, and all the chicken is the same except for how it is cut. Halal chicken is cut by saying takbir. Haram chicken is cut without a prayer, and when you cut chicken, you cut it on the name of Allah. Pork. Pork is haram because it comes from pig. We don't eat pig. The reason behind that is because they are dirty and unsanitary animals. That is the reason we don't eat pork. Prophet Musa and Prophet Isa said that pork is unclean and not healthy. In the Quran and the Bible, it clearly states that eating pork is haram, but Christians still eat it. Alcohol. You may have heard of stories, shows, or even movies you have watched that people are drinking and maybe offering some to kids and people who don't want to do it. Alcohol is haram, but do you know why? The answer is that alcohol is haram because it is very unhealthy and can cause addiction, and it is made of burned grapes. This can cause someone's health to drop, and you may have seen causes of deaths because of alcohol. Let's talk about halal food now. You know that all fruits are halal, right? Well, if you didn't know, then you know now. Fruits are very healthy, and the more you eat them, the healthier you become in life. This can also lead you to become strong. Fruits are also very healthy to eat when you are breaking your fast in Ramadan. Fruits are things that can be eaten every single day. Potato. All foods that are made of potato are actually 100% halal because potato is a vegetable and all vegetables are halal. You probably eat fries, mashed potatoes, and also some potato chips like Lay's, for example. These are all halal. Ice cream. We all love ice cream. And yes, it is halal. All flavors of ice cream are halal. This includes chocolate, vanilla, butterscotch, caramel, cotton candy, and more. The end. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, does anybody want to share what they learned?
I learned that chicken that is cut properly is halal by saying the takbir, but if it's not said the takbir, then it becomes haram.
Yeah.
That's also what I learned too. I don't.
Okay, good job. So now we have Laura presenting next. You can go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so today I'll be teaching about the Prophet's second wife. Most people think the Prophet's second wife is Aisha, but it actually isn't. The Prophet had a wife before Aisha, and her name was Sauda bint Zam, and basically she was related to the Prophet. She was related to the Prophet by like their sixth cousin, and by their sixth cousin called Qais ibn Zaid. And then basically she married the Prophet after her husband died. And the way that her husband died was basically that he fell ill when they had migrated to Ethiopia. When they had migrated to Ethiopia, and then by the time they reached Mecca, her husband came back in a horrible state, and then he eventually died. And after those years, she fell into depression. She fell into depression and sorrow. But there came a day where the Prophet was talking to a lady after his first wife Khadija died, and was trying to find out who to marry. And the lady proposed two people, Sauda and Aisha. So the Prophet said, I want to marry Aisha, but I still want a wife because Aisha was like 6 years old at the time. And he said that he wanted to marry Aisha when she finally started her when she finally got her period, because according to that time, when you got your period, you were finally an adult. So at that time, he wanted to marry someone who was already an adult before he married Aisha. So he picked to marry Sauda before Aisha, and of course, as we know, the Prophet had no kids with any of his wives other than Khadija and Maria. And so she wasn't able to give the Prophet any kids, but still she gave the Prophet a great life. And a story about her and the Prophet was one time, but when the Prophet and Sauda were praying, Isha, we're praying Isha, the Prophet والسلام, read a super long story, and after the salah, so that was like joking with the Prophet and telling him the surah that you read was so long, I felt like I was gonna die the while we were praying. So this kind of shows that she liked comedy, and she liked joking with the Prophet. She liked joking with the Prophet. And after a few years into their marriage, finally it came where Aisha finally had gotten her period, but Sauda did not want to be divorced to the Prophet. So she begged the Prophet for them to stay married together, because she could be from Nisa al-Jannah, from the women of Jannah, and from al-Mu'mineen, from the moms of the Muslims. So until the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sauda stayed a wife of the Prophet. And inshallah, when most of us go to Jannah, inshallah, we'll be able to see one of al-Mu'mineen, Sauda. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, does anybody want to share something they learned? Nobody?
I have a question.
Yeah. What's your question?
Joking.
Oh,
you're joking? Oh,
Uh, I learned that like the Prophet like wanted to marry like somebody like who is actually like had the period with like, which meant like they're an adult. So like he basically wanted to marry another adult.
yes, that's correct. Okay, so now we have Harith presenting next. You can go whenever you want.
I'm going with Majida too.
Oh, okay. You guys can go. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. I'm just sharing my screen. Screen sharing is disabled.
Here, I need to make you co-host. Okay, you should be able to share now.
Yes, Mariam. Yes, Sarah. Do you have a question?
Um, nope, I forgot. Never mind.
Okay.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about the reason we fast in Ramadan. In Quran 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 183, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained Muslims to fast in the month of Ramadan. Arit will read the verse for us. Bismillah, Arit.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kutiba alaykum siyamu kama kutiba ala lazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun.
Oh, you who has believed. I didn't even know. Decreed upon you is fasting as it was decreed upon those before you, that you may become righteous. The greatest purpose of fasting is to attain taqwa. Taqwa is to protect yourself from the punishment of Allah by avoiding His prohibitions and implementing His commands. When I say avoiding His prohibitions, it means avoiding the things that He has forbidden us Muslims to do, like eating haram, drinking alcohol, listening to haram music, just not being a good person in general, and not reading your Quran and things like that. And implementing His commands is trying your best to be the best Muslim you can, going to the mosque on Friday, reading your Quran, praying your 5 daily prayers, trying your best to eat halal, and being a good Muslim. When we fast, we temporarily make haram on ourselves things that are usually halal, like eating or drinking. Fasting teaches us to say no to our nafs. Nafs is our inner self, our inner voice. It's teaching us to say no to our nafs and our desires. This helps us to develop taqwa, making it easier for us to restrain ourselves from haram throughout the year. For example, if you are able to say no to your inner thought, like if it's telling you to just go in the closet and eat some cake, and you know you can say no to that, then during the rest of the year, you know that you can say no to the other haram things that your inner self might want you to do, because you know that you could say no to not eating. A means of training ourselves to obey Allah. When we become used to eating and drinking at the same time every day, our bodies start to crave food and drink when we pass that time. By fasting, we discourage our nafs from what it is accustomed to, refusing to give it to its desires. Instead of allowing our nafs to control us, we control our nafs. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, does anybody want to share something that they learned?
Does anybody have any questions?
So I learned like basically fasting helps like control like
like how much you're eating or drinking.
Yeah,
That's very good.
yeah.
MashaAllah.
Okay, so Yumna and Hassan, do you guys want to present today?
And tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else want to present?
I think
Okay.
Mariam have a question again.
Mariam.
I don't have a question, but I want to show something.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me just, whoa. How do you?
You want to share the screen? Oh,
I can't.
Whoa, that's cool. What is that?
yes, we
It's
can
the
see.
Arabic alphabet. I can't really show it because it's.
Oh,
How do you turn my? I'm trying to figure out how to turn my camera around. Ah, there we go.
what is that made of? Is that just like
It's
Play-Doh?
air dry clay.
Oh, clay. That's pretty nice. Okay, so nobody else wants to present? Okay, that's enough. I guess that's it for today. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.
Whoops.